Well, that's a good way to start it. What you're looking at is a selection, the only ones that I've kept, of thumb scrapers. I have featured them before, but there wasn't everything that I have. And so this is pretty much everything I have for this size, the smaller thumb scraper. As a utilitarian tool, so important in the North American Indian's life. Now, I don't find a ton of them all over the place because many times I am not certain if the area I'm in is either a ambush spot, a kill spot, or a village, or a settlement, or a camp. Those are very hard things to discern, but what I do know for sure is that what you're going to see here on the round table today is you're going to see a bunch of really great thumb scrapers, the ones that I put in my display. And we're going to take a look at these because there's some really great pieces here that are just worth checking out for the uniqueness of some of the things going on with them and their beauty. Just different rock materials, but definitely, number one, because of their need to just get little skins conditioned. And I want to discuss that just a little bit as we get going here. Not take too long. I only have 10 minutes or so. Look at this piece. I mean, they did this on purpose, if my focus cooperates with me. What a great little scraper, just from a flake, completely smooth here, rhyolite. But I'm going to guarantee you this was used for probably conditioning skins such as squirrels, you know, chipmunks, all the little ones. And I guarantee there was a reason for it. Conditioning those skins was so important. They're not going to waste them, and they were going to use them. So even the little critters, which I think a lot of these thumb scrapers were for finishing those skins out and getting the tallow off the inside, the fat off the inside of the skin, just conditioning the hides. I think that's what these thumb scrapers were for. I definitely would have needed them if I had to condition those hides. And as you take a look at these, keep that in mind, how important the little scrapers were. With this natural light out here, you get a great idea. This one's actually, I think, was hafted in. Just a great look at a piece of quartz here. Nice stuff, huh? With the natural light and the spring coming, I figured I would just come right out here and grab them and lay them right out on the turntable and the Lazy Susie and just be lazy with them. I think there are some out there, I've heard the comments here and there, that just really like the scrapers. Great stuff, right? And as we go around, keep in mind, and I could just have fun imagining the different animals that were conditioned with these scrapers. I mean, you have a lot of little varmints that they would need to condition. Now muskrats around here tend to get pretty big, and when they were able to hunt them and get them, I guarantee they were 20 pounds. Some people say muskrat, yeah, I've seen a muskrat 20, 25 pounds. And beaver are huge, but they could have used them for the larger rodents, but definitely the squirrels, the chipmunks, the minks, and all the little variety of critters that they're not going to throw away their skins. They're going to use them for little things, little bags or what have you. So that's where you see the utilitarian purpose of some of these great artifacts. What's great about it is that you get to see and handle or find as we go around here. Look at these. Very similar. You see the repetition here. If I go out with these three, very similar in shape. And we have the circular ones too, but you often get these. And when I was first started to find them, of course, again, I just was immediately discouraged because I'm like, oh geez, it's not a point. And then I said, wait a second here, that's a specific tool. So if you're new to collecting, what have you, have an eye for these. These tools are just as important as finding a sweet arrowhead or a spear point or what have you, if you think about their life in totality, what they needed this for after they made the kill. Everything fits together, whether it was an atlatl dart tip that gained the game, or a scraper that cleaned the game, or a hammerstone that made the arrowheads. Everything fits together, you know, so important. So I figured I'd put these out there and just chat about the very importance of small thumb scrapers for the much green. Now this is the size where you could have made good, hard, fast work with a raccoon or a possum. You know, a lot of those types of smaller animals would have worked great. Even what they needed to do with snakes or whatever, and the skins of snakes, nothing was wasted. They had to harvest it all. Look at these things, and they just took that thing and made it. And sometimes, once in a while, I think, you find them made out of the tip of a point, but not usually. I can tell that these were not the tip of a point. You can see the beveled edges on these. It's good stuff. Now we get into something a little different. The round ones. It's found at the pinnacle. Absolutely clear. Again, back into the small varmints. My guess is squirrels. Whatever they need to do with birds. Chipmunks. Marmots, the little things, would have done good work. Of course, a big animal, no. But I love to keep that in mind as we look at these. Perfect fresh air. Now we have one here in sugar quartz. Pretty common stuff here. So we get this display going. So if you're out there and you find pieces like this, you'll know what they're for. I mean, this is real. Sugar quartz is really resilient. This was used as a scraper for sure to condition smaller hides. And often, there's the cortex. Often they'll use that convex shard that broke off the top or the outside of a rock when they were busting it down, and they'll use it for something else like making a scraper, which is pretty clear on this right here. Pretty clear. Good stuff. Here's somebody's personal favorite, which is the quartz. Always is a lot of people's personal favorite that don't have it around where they are. Here's a great quartz scraper, and if you could feel, it's hard to see in the light, but it's all worked down off the edges here. Good stuff. And then again, very flat on the backside, but worked on the edges. I'm just hoping my focus is coming out. You can see the translucent. That's a great little scraper right there. A lot of fun. And a lot of beauty on that. Isn't that funny? Look at the backside. A lot of those scrapers, turtleback scrapers or what have you. Here's one in rhyolite. If you love scrapers and just love the virtue. Now these carry a lot more energy, of course, if you're sort of holistic and you're into the spirit of things, because these were used. These were kept in a little tool pouch or what have you, and they were used daily. If they were lucky, if they were fortunate to get different game or different animals daily. To just take that hide and condition it. And boy, I bet they made work of it. I bet they were quick and efficient. Nice rhyolite piece. Look at this little piece, another little teeny scraper. So you know there was a use. They didn't just make things just to as some frivolous attempt at something. Look at this. My tongue's getting tied. Great looking material. And I did a feature on scrapers once before, but the light was just so perfectly natural out here, and I just felt in my heart today after talking about how the Indians, North American Indians, must have trickled across this land, continent, while more trickled in to already existing sites, mixing with different genetics, different dispensations. It must have been, if you could do it in time lapse, it must have been an incredible thing to see the pulse of humanity exploring and settling and sustaining themselves. And here, one thing I did not add, and I'll add it as we finish up, was that the motivation for them to explore was directly influenced by what an area could sustain in terms of population and food and animals. And if they needed to broaden out a little bit more and move on to what I said before was greener pastures, then they did. They had to. Just simply because the land and its animals and its resources, as they repopulate, can only support a certain number of people per square mile, you know what I mean? So they just kept pulsing out, and some would stay and meet new people that were coming across into the nation and trying to find a place to live. The North American Indian, nice scraper here, huh? Incredible stuff. Found that at the Cascades. Now here's a unique point. Excuse me, a unique tool. This here is not broken. I've looked at it closely, looked at it under magnifying glass. This here is smooth as can be and worked. Smooth. Definitely smooth down out here and polished. cut right out of there. If you could see it, I wonder if my focus is working. From what angle? Now, it fits right into your hand like this. When I found it, I had no clue. I said, man, I found a point, and it's broken. What a bummer. But no. Once you know scrapers, you held this, and you get a shaft. Look at that. If my focus is working, I think it is. It's so smooth right here. You get a shaft, atlatl shaft, an arrow shaft. You're ready to go just to clean that thing and shave that thing down as you heat it. And that will do the job right there. I really believe they were just taking this and cleaning. Look at that. Cleaning shafts right down for atlatl arrows, dart tips, or excuse me, darts, or what have you. Just a great looking piece. Very unique. You don't find those that often. I don't find them at all. That's the only one I've ever found. I wonder if I can get a good focus on it. Just to show you that little notch. There you go. Unbelievable piece. Now, one that I've had a lot of comments on, of course, is the rose quartz scraper. Hard as can be, tough as can be. Natural light, just show you a little bit out here. Of course, it's flat again here, worked off. I mean, I'm the type that would have just every single one of these here. I'd love to go back in time and just see the animals cleaned, see them using these tools. Oh, I'm not getting the focus I want. See them using this scraper that's in my hands to actually go to work and clean that animal's hide to get it ready for the next step. That would have been great, just to see him grab the tool and just go to work on it. And whether it was this or it was this little one, whether it was this, whether it was any of these over here, whether it was this one. Blood, fat, life, purpose. And that's really why I put these small scrapers out here. That's about enough, long enough. Really appreciate you tuning in. And I don't really know if I have a favorite here. They're just so unique and different that I think it's worthwhile showing them. If you come across them out there, make sure you pick them up. And that's a good shot of that one. Perfect light out here. And of course, as always, really hope you find out there. Be well.